Hello everyone, I am Dr. Ranjit Pawar, presenting this video on the topic of Introduction to Database Languages. In general, language is a vital part of human connection. All species have their own way of communication. Then, why is a language important? A language is useful for communication, storing information in mind, passing on knowledge from one generation to another generation, provide the identity, developing collective skills, etc. So language allows us to share our ideas, thoughts and feelings with others. In the same way, considering databases to communicate with data in databases, we must know the language, and that is called database language. It includes some commands, instructions to have the communication with databases stored at server or client machine. Let's see the video on Introduction to Database Languages. The learning outcome is to understand the introduction to database language. At the end of this video, you will be able to learn Introduction to Database Languages, Structured Query Language, the component of SQL, basic SQL data types. Database language, a generic term referring to class of languages used to define and access databases. Database languages are the set of statements or tools to implement and manipulate the database. The DBMS must provide appropriate languages and interfaces for each category of users. The DBMS is an intermediate link between the physical database, computer, and the operating system and users. To provide the various facilities to different types of users, DBMS normally provides one or more specialized programming languages called database languages. A particular database language will be associated with a particular database management system. So there are two distinct classes of database languages: those that do not provide a complete programming facility and are designed to be used in association with some general purpose programming languages, and those that do provide a complete programming facilities. Database languages are used to read, update and store data in database. There are several such languages that can be used for this purpose. One of them is SQL, Structured Query Language. SQL is very simple yet powerful database access language. SQL is non-procedural language. Users describe in SQL what they want done, and the SQL language compiler automatically generates a procedure to navigate the database and perform the desired task. A SQL language is categorized into four sublanguages: data definition language, data manipulation language, data control language, and transaction control language. IBM Research developed and defined SQL, and ISO has refined SQL as standard language for relational database management systems. SQL is categorized into DDL, DML, DCL, and TCL languages. DDL is used for specifying database schema. It is used for creating tables, schema, indexes, constraints, etc. in database. Let's see the operations that we can perform on database using DDL. To create the database instance, we use a create command. To alter the structure of database, we use alter command. To drop whole database instance or table, we use a drop command. To delete tables in a database instance, we use a truncate. To rename database instances, we use a rename command. And to describe the structure of database object, we use describe or DESC. All of these commands either defines or update the database schema. That's why they come under data definition language. The next is data manipulation language. The DML is used for accessing and manipulating data in databases. The following operations on databases comes under DML. To read a record from tables, we use a select command. To insert record or records into tables, we use insert command. To update the data which is already existing in tables, we use update command. And to delete all the records from the table, we use delete command. There are the third category of SQL, that is data control language, that is DCL. DCL is used for granting and revoking user access on database. To grant the access to users, we use a grant command, and to revoke the access from the user, we use revoke command. The last category, that is transaction control language, that is TCL. The changes in the database that we made using DML commands are either performed or rollback using TCL. To persist the changes made by DML commands in databases, we use commit. And to roll back the changes made to the databases, we use rollback. Save points are used in between the transaction operations to roll back the changes made to databases up to that save point, not to all operations on the databases. So the question is, why SQL? SQL is a standard language for relational database management system. All relational database management systems like MySQL, MS Access, Oracle, Sybase, Informix, Postgres, and SQL Server are use SQL as a standard database language. It allows users to access data in relational management systems. It allows users to describe the data. It allows the users to define data in database and manipulate that data. It allows embedding within other languages using SQL modules, libraries, and pre-compilers. It allows users to create and drop databases and tables. It allows users to create, view, stored procedures, functions in database. And it allows users to set permissions on tables, procedures, and views. So SQL is a very important language considering databases. In a database, each column of table has a specific data value. A data type specifies the type of data that column can hold, such a character string, numeric values, and date time values. So a data type defines what kind of value a column can contain. Basically, there are 6 types of data can be stored in each column of database. That is char, varchar, numeric, that is number, date, long, and raw. A char data type is used when fixed length character string is required. It can store alphabetic values. The column length can vary between 1 to 200 bytes, 2000 bytes. By default, the size value is 1. If suppose user enters a value for a column shorter than the specified size, then the database blank pads to the fixed length. So the next is varchar or varchar2 data type. Varchar data type supports a variable length character string. It also stores alphanumeric values. The size for this data type ranges from 1 to 4000 bytes. Using varchar saves disk space when compared to the character type. Consider an example. Considering a column assigned with the varchar data type of a size 30, if the user enters 10 bytes of our data, of the characters, then length in that row would only be 10 bytes and not 30 bytes. In case of char, it would still occupy 30 bytes because the remaining would be blank padded. The next type is numeric. The number type can store positive numbers, negative numbers, zeros, fixed point numbers, and floating point numbers within the precision of 38. Where P means the value would be 32 as the precision value maximum 38. In example, the column name number in bracket P comma S, for example a sal number in bracket 7 comma 2, where P is the precision which refers to the total number of digits. It varies between 1 to 38. S is the scale which refers to the digit that to the right of the decimal point. In the example, salary column is type of number and precision is 7, the scale is 2. Means salary column can hold the floating point number having total number of digits would be 7 and 2 digits after decimal point. The number from 00000.00 to 99999.99. The next type is date. Date data type is used to store date and time in a table. In Oracle, it requires 7 bytes to store date value. The default format is DDMONYY. And to view the system date, we use sysdate function, that is SQL function. The next type is long data type. This data type is used to store variable character length. The maximum size is 2 GB. Only one column in the table can have long data type. That column should not contain unique or primary key. The column cannot be indexed. The last type, that is raw data type. Raw data type is used to store byte oriented data like binary data, and maximum size is 2000 bytes. Raw data type can be indexed. The long raw data type is used to store binary data of variable length which can have maximum size of 2 GB, but this cannot be indexed. So this is all about basics of database language, SQL and data types. In the next video, you will understand how to use DML and DDL commands. Thank you.